This is Deepa Chaudhary. I'm your host for this evening. I welcome all of you, including our speakers and our attendees, who have taken out their valuable time to join us for this evening's discussion this evening. And the theme of this evening is the role of citizens in pandemic. How the citizens will be able to spread this message of positivity and harmony amongst themselves and be a motivation for others, those who are suffering and their families, and those who are in a panic situation to overcome these grim times. We have our four speakers for this evening, Dr. Shauli Mukherjee, Mrs. Kajal Chhatija, Ms. Richa Sharma, and Ms. Supriya Singh Chouhan. I welcome all of you, our eminent speakers. I also welcome Dr. Professor Raghunath Barakal and Ms. Suraya Bano. And last but not the least, our founder, Mr. Raja Rao. So as we begin this evening's journey, so may I invite Dr. Shauli Mukherjee, Director of School of Education and Dean, Students Affairs, Adamas University. Welcome, Dr. Mukherjee. Now over to you, please, to share your views on our this evening's topic, the role of citizens in pandemic.
Over to you. Thank you so much, Deepa, for that wonderful introduction. Wishing all of you a very, very good evening. Right at the very outset, I would like to thank World Peace Commission and especially Mr. Raja Rao for extending this invitation to me to speak on this platform today, especially because I feel that this is a very, very pertinent issue facing all of us today, and that is India's war against COVID-19. To give a very little brief about myself, so it has almost been 23 years that I have been in the education sector, being the principal of certain reputed international schools in West Bengal, among which few schools have been founded by me as the founder principal, among which there is STEM World School, which was the first STEM school in West Bengal, which was also eventually awarded for being the second best international day school in the entire West Bengal region. Currently, I'm the director of School of Education and Dean Student Affairs at Adamas University, Kolkata. The theme of today's panel discussion is the role of citizens in pandemic. Now, myself being an academician, let me specifically focus on our young citizens, and that is the students. Of India being largely populated by our youth, it is important to determine their role in the present context of massive disruption posed by the pandemic and in the present times when there is so much of negativity, insecurity, and fear all around us. Can we actually think of some positive, changes or transformations or disruptions, especially in the sphere of education, which the pandemic has brought in front of us? So that is basically the topic that I will be speaking to you about. Now, I would like to say right at the very outset that the 21st century world, the world that we live in, is undoubtedly a VUCA world. That is, it's a volatile, uncertain, complex, and an ambiguous world, where we are faced with unheard of and, unique challenges almost on a day-to-day basis. Since the turn of the century, the chaotic, turbulent, and rapidly changing environments in which we live have actually become the new normal. Exploding technological developments, dramatic demographic growth, immigration, ecological disasters, and geographical trends, they have all disrupted our lives at an ever increasing pace and breadth. These circumstances, definitely accelerated by the global pandemic, have caused a major breakdown of order in almost all the organizations. And that definitely includes education as well as higher education. As the four VUCA components of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, they often interact with each other in chaotic and sometimes in very, very conflicting manner. Now, in the last few months, and it has almost been more than a year now, that the world has been embroiled in this global pandemic, there has been considerable debates, discussions, and dialogues pertaining to the fact that how education should both cope with its immediate threat while also considering certain pivots towards new models and innovations for the future. Now, thanks to the COVID times, actually, and this is one of the positives that the COVID has brought in front of us, which had actually caused major disruptions primarily to our traditional thought patterns concerning education. And on the positive note, had actually compelled all of us to think and act outside the box and embrace considerable flexibility and adaptability and devise innovative strategies and methods to significantly address the emerging complexities concerning the sphere of education. Now, it is worthwhile to mention, and we all know that the traditional and conservative or the conventional form of education often force our young learners to metaphorically color and draw within the lines. That is to comply, to conform, and to compete. So every learner is given the same amount of time to learn the same thing in the same way, and preferably on the same day. So it's not a wonder that the learners, they really struggle to realize their true potential. Now, considering the essential fact that the true or the real world beyond the confines of a fancy physical infrastructure of an educational institution actually rewards those who can think out of the box and can carve their own path. Hence, in order to sustain and thrive in the 21st century, ever increasingly complex workforce, the learners definitely have to be oriented more towards cooperation and collaboration rather than cutthroat competition only. In order to address and challenge the emerging global complexities, I think it's high time that we all have realized over the past 1.5 years or so now that we do not need mechanically trained minds loaded with facts and figures, minds which are systematically formulated to think alike. No, that is not what we require anymore. That is not what the world is looking out for. Rather, what the world requires right now are the minds, are the creative minds, are the innovative minds, which are capable of out of the box ideation and divergent thinking. That is what the world requires, and that is what we want our young generation to evolve into. Now, the pandemic has also brought into the forefront certain essential things, which I think, from the educational point of view, as well as from the societal point of view, it's very, very important for all of us to consider that in order to thrive in this uncertain VUCA world, the skills which are required is definitely, something, related to critical thinking, effective communication, creativity, collaboration, analytical thinking, fast and effective decision making, and at the same time, nurturing one's emotional intelligence, also giving due importance to different kinds of quotients and stop giving priority only to the intelligence quotient. And when I speak of the different kinds of quotients, what I specifically mean are the quotients such as creative quotient, the passion quotient, the happiness quotient, the spiritual and the social quotient, and especially relevant in the present context of the pandemic, the AQ, that is the adversity quotient. How to deal with the uncertainties of life, how to deal with the vagaries of existence. So adversity quotient is also something that we have to prioritize currently. Now, the pandemic has also brought certain other things into the forefront that if we really want our present generation to evolve into creative problem solvers, we must give them ample scope to explore the three essential P's, that is play, passion, and purpose. We must remember that it is play, passion, and purpose that makes someone truly creative. We must allow the young learners more time, which they can effectively utilize in following their passion, in creating, exploring, sharing, and experimenting with their novel ideas and thoughts. I also think that we must allow these creative minds to not only seek innovative solutions to the problems, but also to spot inherent problems in the existing solutions. The learners should have complete responsibility and ownership of their own learning. And in order to make that happen, they must be given both choice as well as voice to determine what, where, and how they would want to learn. And in order to nurture such delicate, creative minds of our learners effectively, the education leaders, the educators, the entire educational fraternity must come together in order to redefine and reimagine their roles in driving this momentous shift towards empowering individual learners by maximizing their learning potential to ultimately evolve into self-motivated and lifelong learners. Both the educator as well as the learner have to wholeheartedly embrace the concept and the benefits of any time and anywhere learning, and have to stay committed to learning, unlearning, and relearning across all the significant phases of their lives. In fact, one of the positive offshoots of this global pandemic happens to be the paradigm shift from teaching to learning when it comes to the educators, whom we all presume would definitely continue to inspire, motivate, stimulate, and at the same time facilitate the love for lifelong learning among the students as well as, very importantly, themselves as well. Now, it is quite ironic that it required one C, that is Corona or COVID, to bring about the power and importance of another C, that is the importance of collaboration and connectivity. And it is so very true in the education sector as well, where the educators as well as the students, they have all realized that we cannot continue to work as well as to learn in silos anymore. That it's so very important for every one of us to collaborate with each other, to share meaningful ideas, and to exchange our thoughts. And that is how we would stay relevant, and that is how we would continue to evolve in this ever-changing, complex 21st century world. And also, one of the great positives that I can think of is that it has become clear right now, more than ever, that teaching is not a mechanical task of transferring knowledge and content from one person to another. It is, in fact, one of the most creative and one of the most sophisticated profession, which helps to enable the young citizens and the young learners to evolve into a more confident, more equipped, more dynamic and authentic version of themselves. In conclusion, I would just like to mention that I would just like to mention two important points which I keep on thinking a lot. That we have already spent quite a few months doing something completely different, trying to create a new normal for us as well as our learners. Now, in the post COVID era, should we now go back to the old ways of doing things? This is a question which I often ask myself as an educator. After months of virtual interaction to which our children have been exposed to, where almost at the click of a mere button, the entire world has sort of opened up in front of them along with newer vistas of possibilities. So after doing all that, should our children be now back under the direct influence of an outdated educational system once more? Should we again start teaching children to think and act inside the box, to draw and color within the lines? Should we again do that? So, if the answer to all these questions is a very big and vociferous no, then I think we all must wholeheartedly embrace the obvious benefits of the hybrid and the blended learning which the pandemic has actually widely brought in front of us. And this is the gift of the pandemic, the benefits and the advantages of hybrid and blended learning. We must wholeheartedly and with a very, very positive frame of mind have to embrace the benefits and advantages of hybrid and blended learning in order to effectively sustain the new normal and thereby facilitating our young learners to thrive. And by young learners, I mean the young citizens, to thrive in the 21st century, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. That is the need of the hour, and that is exactly what we should all do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shauli Mukherjee. I am very impressed. And honestly speaking, I personally love the concluding factor of the questions that you put forward for a concluding remark that should we go when we have already created this new normal and our kids have already been online learning, should we go back to that old way? And how would parents and kids would react to it? In fact, not parents, but kids would definitely have their jitters. I'm not sure how accept how much would they accept, because you know what, I'll tell you my personal example. I have my 4-year-old niece, and her admission, we put her into Rayan International School, and ever since she didn't go to school at all. Ever since her admission, she has been in these online learning sessions only. So she does not even know how is the school atmosphere like. What is it like sitting in a classroom? So she has always been there in those online platforms. So things would be different for her. And as you very well said, that hybrid and blended learning is, of course, is very much required in today's times. And education fraternity and the educator and the learner wholeheartedly commit to maximize their learning potential by this learn, unlearn, relearn. Well, that's my favorite one. I always use that. And in order to evolve, I believe that is very important. You cannot remain stagnant with and holding on to what you have learned. You have to upgrade it. And that is what the evolution comes out to be. So,
and in fact, that is the greatest learning that we have all learned from this pandemic, that we need to be continuously learning, unlearning, and relearning. And this is the only way that is we sort of evolve through our experiences. And we need to have that resilience, and we need to have that urge to continuously learn. That is not only true for our young citizens, that is true for each one of us, I think.
Absolutely, I agree. It's not for only for, it is for all age groups, all sectors, students, parents, even we from the corporate world also. So in order to sustain, that is the key. So taking this insights and this wonderful, what do you say, words from you, and I move on to our next speaker. I welcome Mrs. Kajal Chhatija. She is founder of Edu-Drone, and I welcome her to share her insights on our today's topic, the role of citizens in pandemic. Over to you, please. This is Chhatija. Welcome, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Deepa. And I congratulate World Peace Commission for organizing such insightful discussions and deliberating and bringing such eminent educationists from different parts of the world. And this is indeed need of the hour, isn't it? And I'm assuming that we are live and we have mixed bag of people who are listening to us. We have teachers, we have students, we have principals, directors, and even people from corporate industry. But still, I want you, everybody over here. See, whenever I come forward, I always make sure that everybody is listening or not. So it's always that way. जैसे हम बोलते हैं सास भी कभी बहू थी, तो डायरेक्टर भी कभी प्रिंसिपल थी और प्रिंसिपल भी कभी टीचर थी. That way. So I bring that classroom environment lively, and my teacher in me pops out. And
so fantastic.
This is me. This is Kajal, and I'm quite famous for my students when they call me Kajal ma'am. I forget all my worries. Okay, so now I want every one of you, if you can, on your black windows, and let's do namaste, and I'll start. Let's greet each other by this new normal. Thank you so much. Namaste to one and all, and happy evening. I am giving you a small situation now, and I will take you back to your nursery, junior KG, senior KG classrooms. Okay? Please allow me to do that. We are in a jungle, we are in a forest, and we are just spectators. We are just watching what's happening. And by the end of the little story, it will just take 2 minutes. You have to tell me what are the takeaways from and what's the moral. There is a stream, flowing stream. There's a wolf and a lamb. Okay. They both are drinking water together from a flowing stream. Okay. I'll repeat. There are two animals. One, a lamb, a wolf, a killer. Okay. And a sweet little lamb. They're having water together. And wolf is trying his level best to capture this little lamb and making a trap. What should be the next step for a lamb? If anyone can tell me, it's okay. I love to be interactive. If anyone, wolf will catch the lamb. Yes. What should be the next step for the lamb? This is my question. Okay, I'll just tell you. Lamb should run away. He should not talk to the wolf and should not fall in the trap. This is the situation we are in right now. So the wolf, yes, lamb should run away. Shouldn't talk to wolf at all. So we need to understand the need of the hour. My dear friends, and whosoever is listening, consider yourself as a lamb, as a rat. We've been telling, अरे rat की तरह छुप के बैठा है. It's okay. It's okay. अगर जिंदा हैं तब तो ये सब कर पाएंगे, isn't it? So even I want to bring everybody's attention towards Hong Kong somewhere in 2003. The similar situation happened. Please open Google. Dr. Nirmala Rao has said it in her research paper. Exactly same situation. Hong Kong, government had to shut down all the schools, and Shinchi had to organize masks. Immediately, within no time, they organized masks and they restructured their education. They started what we are doing right now in 2003. Similar situations happened, and they just picked up from there. So time is to realize our responsibility, one, and see, government is trying their level best from their end. Even time, and see, I am putting one disclaimer over there. Please don't blame me if I hurt someone's, you can say anyone's heart. If I am doing through my words, I'm saying sorry. Okay, Indian police have already done lathi charges. And people stopped going out only because of that rod which they got, and they were roaming around. So we need to understand the rule of the land. We need to understand the and trust me, it's been 25 days. I've not even gone down for my morning walk. I'm doing everything from home. I'm trying my level best sitting at home. And in fact, I'm working even more. I'm working for 14 hours. And see, now I'm sitting with so many prominent and eminent speakers. So it is all about A, B, C, D, E of life. Please allow me to share this. A stands for action. Time is to, be very, very alert on our actions. Okay. B stands for be positive. Delete all your negative messages which you have in your mobiles. Okay. C stands for conscious. Be conscious. See, one mistake, your one mistake of getting out is going to affect your family, your society, community in all. So be very, very conscious. Yes. D is devotion. See, believe in yourself, believe in prayers, and pass that devotional message to your near and dear ones. It does matter. And when we pray together like this, it really touches, it really heals. And now, last one, E. It stands for empathy. See, if your phone rings, if it, forget about it's midnight or whatever, lend your ears and hear. Be available for your students, teachers, your friends, your family. Give your time. Spend hours and hours on these windows. See, only one door is locked, by the way. Only one door. That is where we are sitting. I am assuming my, door which is closed. I'm sitting at home right now. But so many windows are open. I can see so many cheerful, chirpy, beautiful. I can see Supriya ma'am, Richa ma'am, and Shauli ma'am, Deepa ma'am, Shaurya. And I love Supriya ma'am's earrings, what she's wearing right now. I love her attire. So let's appreciate each other. This is the time to celebrate and spread positivity in the air. Love, hope, happiness in the air, not virus. We need love. We need smile. Yes, the Richa ma'am, is showing with her gestures, we need smile. So this is what I want to convey through this. And again, a disclaimer over there. See, I love speaking from my heart, and whatever comes to my heart, and I'm bang on. Sometimes it triggers. Sometimes it comes back. It falls back. Kya bol rahi thi tu? You should be mindful. So I hope I was mindful enough while I was talking, and I'm looking at you, big chirpy smiles on you. So I hope I've done my bit. Yes, Dr. Professor, I love your rolling chair, the way you're sitting over there. Thank you so much. And thank you, World Peace Commission. Keep on doing, keep on. Yes, we for victory. We are together in this, and this shall too pass. Love you all. So a wow clap for everyone. This is new normal. Ma'am, this way. It's a wow clap. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Chhatija. It has been wonderful. You made us smile and you made us giggle. And I love the positivity that you radiate. And those A for actions, B for be positive, C for conscious, D for devotion, and E for empathy. Fantastic, fantastic. I'll remember it all my life now.
Yeah, I just want to mention, ma'am, Dr. Sudhir Zupath, HIRH here. Please correct me. And Professor Mike, thank you so much for listening. I love to, as it's a small closed group, so let's appreciate everyone's presence over here. They made a point. They have come to us. And when I go and talk, the host also at times, ye mera ghar hai ki iska ghar hai? So yes, this is my home and I have taken over for a while.
Fantastic, fantastic. I truly love what you said, and it's all relatable. And the small, simple things. We are all humans, and what I noticed in one of our events, we were told that we are all humans. We need those refresher courses. Somebody has to keep on reminding these small things and small pleasures of life to us. So wonderful, and it was lovely hearing you. I have a slightly sore throat today. Wonder why? So, coming to our next
tea, ma'am, virtual tea for you. I'm sending a virtual tea.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your words are healing enough. So, I come to our next speaker. She is Miss Richa Sharma. She is the principal and Delhi State Teachers Awardee. I welcome Ms. Richa Sharma to share her views on this topic for this evening today, the role of citizens in pandemic. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. A very good evening to all the eminent guests present today. And I would like to, thank first World Peace Commission for giving me an opportunity to be part of such a wonderful family. Why I would say a family is that such a deep, insightful experiences today I'm, sharing with people. Like Dr. Mukherjee just mentioned about how pandemic and the learning is changing the world for our young learners. And, Kajal ma'am bringing smile to everybody's face and bringing positivity in just few minutes. I'm so happy to meet such a dynamic person today, that in just few minutes she's brought positivity, virtual positivity in our life, where the world is actually surrounded with so much negativity today. So thank you so much, World Peace Commission today, for connecting me especially with so wonderful and beautiful people. So coming back to today's theme, when we talk about role of citizens in this pandemic, you see, from a different perspective, I see this current situation in the sense that we generally look up to the government for the accountability and holding them accountable, that it is the duty of the government to save us from this pandemic situation. And the question comes is, give food to the people. It's your duty to provide health services. It's your duty to protect the citizens. But what I feel is that, I would be stressing on certain different points, that rather than, holding them accountable, I think there is a role that as individuals, as citizens, we need to play. The first and very important role I think we all play is building a small network. Let's take an example, of just holding this small a meeting today virtually. We are building a network where we are sharing our ideas, we are sharing our thoughts. And such networks have been built across the country, I would say that, in order to face the pandemic. If we come to education, I think the students and teachers have built an excellent network, that learning has not stopped in our country at all. From the day, last year when the lockdown was announced by our Honorable Prime Minister, I, must salute all the teachers across the country with what good gesture and positivity they have taken up the charge of teaching children online, with some of the teachers who had no experience, of digital learning. And they themselves became the learners for, within 1 week, and they did excellent job. And in fact, still doing, their duty as a frontline worker during the pandemic situation. So when you're forming these kinds of network at school level, one of the teachers have prepared, the networks were also built by doctors as well, generating awareness through WhatsApp. Though I know some of the messages or the videos were actually also fake. It depends on how much information that we gather, we filter it out, and how much aware we are about our health. So the very important role as citizens we had to play is build small networks to get connected at your society level, at your district level, or at your state level, if you could form that. Why? Because such networks are very essential for any assistance and for any kind of information that you would like to share. In fact, a simple example I would take, I had not spoken to one of my old friends for past many years, but just because of pandemic, I just made a phone call and she was all alone in isolation. So talking was just a relief for her, and she was so happy to talk to me because of the stress that she had during pandemic, because her whole family was in the hospital and she was all alone at home. So building that network, talking and connecting with each other and listening, I think this is something which each and every citizen can do. A small gesture of talking to each other and asking, hello, how are you? Like a small exercise done by Kajal ma'am in 2 minutes, bring smile and do small exercise. So these kind of small networks, there are certain, networks I've seen people online doing yoga. There have been a lot of singing competitions. There have been a lot of talent, shows being organized. Why? Because they are trying to connect people and bring positivity in their life. So I think this is something which is very important. As citizens, we must connect with each other in whichever way we would like to be, whatever way we would like to help each other, listen to each other, bring positivity, and get involved in, keep ourselves busy in some positive work. I would like to say that. The second important aspect when I talk about network, you see, citizens have played a major role, especially the NGOs. Being part of, a Rotary Club myself, I'd seen that Rotary Club has done a wonderful job of connecting people, providing them assistance. And it has, there was no such proposal as such that we were looking forward to the government, but people from NGOs and from the religious organizations have volunteered. People have volunteered to serve in various organizations, so that they feel that as citizens, it is our responsibility. It's a collective responsibility to work towards the pandemic situation, to how to deal with it as a social responsibility. So this is how I feel that citizens have really played a major role. And some of them just said, I can't afford money, I have nothing to donate. So what I believe is, if you have nothing to serve, you have nothing to give, I think the only best thing you can give is pray for people, heal them with your positivity, bring happiness in their life, talk to them. So I think this is one of the most important aspects that we could give to the people. Giving is one of the very important aspect which we have learned, that what as citizens we can give to the society, give to our neighbors, give to the people who need our help. The second important point that I want to highlight today is, we must stand in solidarity with the frontline workers in pandemic time. It's not about the doctors, the nurses, the sanitation, workers outside, the teachers. We must think about themselves. You see, for past 2 years, doctors and nurses and these, sanitation workers, they have been working day and night for us. So what is our duty? Our duty is self-discipline. Government has played its major role. They have defined few simple roles for us to play. A very simple role that I would like to highlight, very simple. Social distancing. Please wear mask. Do not gather in crowded places. Maintain social distancing, avoid crowded places. You need to wash your hands. Now, these are the simple rules. So what I feel is, as citizens, that rather criticizing the government or XYZ for the failure of this system or that system, I think we must introspect that who is accountable. I think citizens are accountable, because the guidelines are very, very clear. There has to be a self-discipline. There has to be an awareness of what I want. Do I want the pandemic to end, or my gathering or my social distance, not maintaining the social distancing, or not wearing the mask, or breaking the queue, or breaking the law is more important, or my contribution to the society is more important? A simple contribution which every citizen can do is look after yourself. Take care of your health. I think if I am taking care of my health, I'm doing my bit for the society, I'm doing for my neighborhood, I'm doing it for my society, for my state, and for my country. Since we are showing solidarity to the doctors and nurses who are working so hard for us to save, I think protecting ourselves, not moving out of the house, following the rules, it's very, very essential, I think, which all the citizens must, observe these guidelines. The very important, aspect is that we must move beyond the accountability of the government. That why the government is not able to control the pandemic. What I feel is that it's the self-awareness that's very important. That why am I moving out of the house when it is not required? Why am I not following the social distancing norm? Why I am out of the house without mask, or why I am not washing my hands or taking care of my health? So that awareness is very important, and that self-discipline, which each and every citizen must follow. That's very, very essential. And the pandemic etiquettes, I feel that that's very essential for all the people to follow. Here I would like to also mention that there is a slight kind of approach which is called me first approach. Like everything should be for me first and then for the others. What I believe is, as citizens and as human beings, it should be first for the others and then for yourself. I think that's what is, a global citizenship is all about. Rather than thinking about me first approach, I think we should think about society. We must think about as a, this is a pandemic. So I think we should think about it as a global issue which has to be dealt very, very, sensitively and at a very appropriate time, and with great zest and zeal, I would say. Why zest and zeal? Because you have to give your 100% to whatever you do, whatever you contribute towards saving people and saving yourself. The last I would like to, focus on the use of resources that we've been doing. What I've observed, especially during, the lack of oxygen and a lot of medicine things as well, we've found that people have suddenly grown very greedy, and I feel somewhere that the education system has failed, because when man turns out to be so greedy that they're trying to take this current situation as an opportunity to make money, I think it's only the education system. As an educator, I feel that the education system is to be blamed. What Dr. Mukherjee said in the beginning, that we need to actually we have to introspect on the kind of education system we have. What I believe is that we must reframe our education system, which should actually incorporate community welfare practices. Every child must know about it right from the primary, what we call as community welfare practices. That we must, rather than having me first approach, we should actually have community first approach, country first approach. Rather than creating, I think rather than creating doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs, I think we must create human beings first. Rather than focusing on head, I think we must focus on heart. That compassion and love and that will to care for people is missing. there were a lot of volunteers, a lot of success stories, but also there were stories where man became so greedy that they actually took it as an opportunity to earn and make money. So what I feel is, and I would conclude my, today's presentation with this remark only, that it's the education that plays a major role. This pandemic is an eye-opener for us. We must work on creating human beings first, human beings with compassion and love and care, because all we have is it's not about ourselves, it's not about me to approach, it's about community. We must evolve as community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Richa ji. I truly appreciate all your crisp points, and especially that we need to take care of ourselves first, then we think about taking care of others. If we are not well, then we will not be able to extend that helping hand. And safety has to be considered a priority nowadays. And human beings need to have that compassion and love and empathy towards each other. And that is what thrives a society or a community, I must say. So thank you so much for all your insights. Thank you. And we come to our next speaker. She is Mrs. Supriya Singh Chouhan. She is an advocate at High Court of Jammu and Kashmir. Over to you, please, Ms. Supriya. And for our today's topic, the role of citizens in pandemic. Welcome, Ms. Supriya Singh Chouhan.
Thank you so much. A very good evening to all of you. Namaste, Adab. आप सबको मेरा बहुत welcome. And the speaker spoke, so well right from the heart. And Richa ma'am, Shauli ji and हमारी काजल, वो तो हमेशा इस तरीके से बात करती हैं कि वो एक सुस्त इंसान को भी जगा दें. I already had some occasion to listen to her. So I am so happy that I'm a part of this platform. But before being an advocate, I'll just say I believe in one thing, that is Vasudev Kutumbakam. Vasudev Kutumbakam means the world is one family. So if we believe that the world is one family, then we all have to take everybody equal. We need to work for the welfare of each and everybody. We have to behave like humans. I mean, we don't have to, that Richa ma'am just told that you need to shun that quality of I. You have to take we first, the community first, so that we can make a society of equals. We can make a society where people actually prosper, where people are happy. Or agar hum baat kare being a advocate, I'll start with, I'm a lawyer. A lawyer is considered to be a social engineer. And a social engineer is somebody, who works for the rights of the society. When an engineer comes to me, I am an engineer. When a doctor comes to me, I am a doctor. When a teacher comes to me, academician comes to me, I am an academician. So I need to inculcate every quality of every individual of the society. But this such a stress time, such a bad time, but I never say my people, I never say my beloved ones, loved ones, my friends, my the people whom I know, or my acquaintances. I never say, you please don't get panic. If you'll take it very properly, if you'll abide by the guidelines, if you'll take things seriously, this virus is not so big. ये कोई इतनी बड़ी बला नहीं है कि आप इससे बच ना सकें. But you taking things casually, you are holding get-togethers, you are going outside.
Ma'am, is it audible to you?
Supriya ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. You're not audible.
I'm talking about, or what the time has come that I have literally stopped watching news. I tell my family members, my friends, everybody, that you please don't watch anything which is, detrimental, or which is impacting your brains, which is impacting your minds. I'll always suggest you please. Even I made many suggestions to the government in Jammu and Kashmir. Our High Court is the first from the 2020 to take so moto cognizance in this issue. They have taken everything, at first instance. It took so moto cognizance, and it said, okay, I'll take the Chief Justice. Last year Chief Justice was Madam Geeta Mittal. She took the entire cognizance of the scenario, and she made it sure that the streets, the Jammu, the Kashmir is fumigated, sanitization drives are there, and she ensured that there'll be proper lockdown. Now this time the problem is the negligence of the system is of criminal of nature, because then they could never imagine that this second wave is going to come like this, because till February or March first week we all were normal, we all were living normal life. Yes, we were going out with masks, we were going out with sanitizers, but it was not the case with everybody. Even I have seen in Jammu and Kashmir, people from the bureaucracy, people from the top police lords, people from top organization, they are not wearing masks. They are organizing, festivals, fest, some parks, some traffic shows, everything. But they had actually forgotten that this virus, this cruel virus, is on the roads. But we can't. You see something. If something hits us, we can't every time crib on that. We need to behave sensibly. Yes, if it is criminal negligence of the system, it is casual approach of the people also, because they knew it, that vaccine is on the stage. Some people are vaccinated, some are not, so we need to behave very properly. So I feel that we need to sensitize people. We need to tell people that please, if you love yourself, if you love your loved ones, if you love your kids and kids, you just need to be home for a while, just for a while. You say we have such a big life, and remaining inside for a month or two is not a big deal. So if you are home, and nowadays technologies are so high that if I wish to talk to you, I can make a video call, I can talk to you, and I am happy. See, we have our children who are working outside, abroad. Parents have set they have a everyday routine that they talk to them for 2 hours together through video calls. So if this time has come to us, we need to behave sensibly. We need to see. I'll never bother if something happens to me, but I'll always be bothered if something happens to my loved ones. So I'll be always careful about them. I'll be always. और हाँ, रिचा जी की बात मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी. हर वक्त परेशानी की बात करना ही नहीं बात बनती. कभी ना कभी आपको कभी ना कभी. Just a second, I got disconnected. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Sorry, we have network issues here. Since abrogation of 370, we have network issues here. Yes, we are in, sometimes the services get snapped, sometimes this happens, sometimes that. We have to live with it now. It's a new normal for us. Then I was just telling that see, we have to talk about something out of this pandemic also. We need to talk about love and affection. हमें किसी से मोहब्बत से भी बात करनी है. हमें हर वक्त, this is, you see, this media is not playing a proper role. This media is playing very bad role. Every time they are just showing, the deaths happening, the hospitals. आप कभी ये भी बताएं कितने लोग recover हुए हैं? कभी आप ये भी बताएं, where do you get the injections? Where do you get the oxygen? People are just looking for oxygen everywhere. आप कभी ये भी तो बताएं. But the problem is, you see, we need to get attention. We need to panic the entire world. We need to panic our people. But I'm thankful to God that Almighty is so kind that He takes care of His humanity. He loves His beings because He has created us. He has created everything. But being a lawyer in Jammu and Kashmir, I saw that my judiciary has done exceptionally well. They are the only people. And you see, right, this is not the time to blame somebody. See, I know. 2-3 days back, I saw an instance in Jammu and Kashmir that a truck of cylinders was going to a private hospital where the VVIPs of the UT is being treated. So the people, you see how people have been now aware. They stopped that cylinder. They said, no, you can't take this government cylinders to a private hospital. How can you do this? So this is a problem. This is something like we need to respond to it. But yes, I know the everybody who are the frontline warriors, they are working without thinking about their health. They are working. They are the people who are at the great risk. That I know. But the problem is, you see, somehow we are taking very casual approach. Somehow the authorities were casual. It is criminal negligence. I don't know whether people would accept it or not, but it is criminal negligence, because when you knew that in November the things started settling down, why did you not respond to it? Why did you not started, making manufacturing or making your infrastructure? Now you are saying we are making 500-bedded hospital, 1,000-bedded hospital. What is the need? This should have been done when it was a normal time. You see, now also people are into marriages and all. We in Jammu and Kashmir, I actually, appreciate the move by Delhi and the Rajasthan and the Maharashtra. I don't know about Maharashtra, whether there's complete shutdown or not, but in Delhi and in Rajasthan, there is complete shutdown. And actually it has contained this, fatal virus. But in Jammu and Kashmir also, I wish that my LG should do something, and he should, for a month, we'll inside, nothing is going to happen to us. And we can save our lives. We can save our beloved people life. We can save our, loved ones' life, and we can save the humanity. And I wish my God, my Allah, my Jesus, my Vaheguru, he, becomes so kind, और वो हम पूरी जितनी इंसानियत है उसके ऊपर अपना हाथ रखे, कृपा करे, और सबको लंबी आयु दे और सबको आरोग्य बनाए. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Supriya ji, for the wonderful insights. And I truly appreciate the energy that you have, the compassion, the empathy that you have for all of us as the citizens of this nation, and related to the experiences that you are listening and the role of media that you are playing. I'll tell you from my personal experience, there are people in Delhi. Delhi is in a very tough situation. So I have friends who are offering free food delivery to the COVID families. Okay. So, and we have various groups who are working for this noble cause. And we take up that responsibility as our citizens, that the minimum that we can do is we can offer them food where the husband, wife, kids, everyone is in this worst situation. I mean, the wives cannot cook, the husband doesn't know how to cook, then the kid is too small. So we have seen that. Absolutely. I have colleagues, we have this family, and we entire all India, our office colleagues are united. And what they do is they are cooking meals at home, and they are giving it to the society's watchmen, because they're not allowed to enter the society. The watchman will then take that tiffin box, and he will leave it on the door of that COVID family and ring the doorbell. That is it. They're doing it for 3 times a day. So,
and you see, helping humanity, going out of way cannot. You see, you just need to take precautions. It's not, you can't isolate humans. You can't isolate your loved ones. You can't be like this. See, doctors do tell that you please distance. You can't distance your hearts. How can you distance your heart when your loved one is affected? You can't do that. So every time I just tell everybody, please don't do this. Wear proper mask. If you are vaccinated, you can well interact with the patient who is positive, and that's okay. You need to wear two mask or whatever, but don't distance your hearts. Don't leave humans like the animals. Even animals, they take care properly. So I just wish that everything should be normal and everybody should be, healthy and hale and hearty.
Sometimes I wonder that if the child is suffering from this COVID, and nowadays children are very much affected, can the mother stay like this, that she would not see her child, not feed him, and not looking after him, her? So, of course, it is all there in the family. We are all together in this. So, and the way I have seen our colleagues have united as what we call one company, one team. I mean, this is phenomenal. So, thank you so much for all your wonderful insights. I would request anybody from our attendees today who would like to share their views that have not been captured by our eminent speakers today. Something that you feel that this also should have been there. I could see Caroline and Jupit. Yes, Caroline, ma'am, you want to say something?
Nothing. Good evening, one and all. It's a very great platform where we can share our views and opinions. It is the responsibility of the civilian during this pandemic. Yes, as every speaker said, it is a responsibility of every individual to take care of their family. As you just said about the kids, yes, I have seen one, as a counseling psychologist, I see many people who are affected during this pandemic. At that time, I have seen one case, that is the daughter, very recent news it is, daughter affected with this corona positive, and mother, she is negative. But doctors denied stepping her into the ICU, but she stepped into the ICU, took care of the child, and of course, with all the precautionary measures, and she stayed with her daughter till she recovered. But she did not affected with COVID. So that is the willpower of mother. So mother, she can be with the kids and she will not be infected, I'm sure. Because just now I read one article, people with the positive thinking and willpower, if they feel that they survive, they live in this pandemic, facing all the challenges and lead definitely a happiest life, they live long. People who are with fear, they're scared of the COVID, they are dying. Of course, they have only few people, they have other health issues that is affecting them. Otherwise, the normal people, if they are with the negative mind, they are dying. So it is the responsibility of civilian, not only the responsibility of the counselors or philanthropists and other people, doctors, health workers. It is the responsibility of every individual to take care of their family. One second. Take care of their family as well as the society by maintaining proper social distancing, taking the guidelines of ISMR, maintaining the mask properly, so that they will not affect the society. And it is a need of the hour that everyone should be with compassionate, to be sympathized with the people. And as learned just now from the other speaker, ma'am, I don't remember the name, ma'am, she said have to be happy and be with the good communication. Yes, we need to be communicated. We have to maintain good communication with our neighbors and to the society. And wherever we find there is a help, definitely we have to rush to them, support them by taking all the precautionary measures. If they need food or any medicines, we have to support them. So we have to make calls not only to our friends, relatives, even to our neighbors and support at this pandemic. It's very important. The responsibility of civilian is high, taking care of them, their family, their neighbors, society, as well as think about the nation. So when we all with unity, taking all the measures and maintaining our society and the nation healthy, then we can support the total world where everyone will be healthy. We have seen that India is like thrown out. Everyone are closing the borders. So if we maintain all the guidelines given by the WHO, definitely we come out from the pandemic, especially with the strong willpower and appropriate thinking and good attitude. We come out all the challenge which is thrown by the coronavirus. Definitely we come out from the pandemic and lead very healthiest, happiest life with positive thinking. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Carolina. It was a very indeed and ICU example that you mentioned. These examples are as a source of inspirations, as motivations. They tell us what is happening in our vicinity and what all are people dealing with. Sometimes they are a learning for us that this is what is happening, something that we can learn from other people's experiences. Thank you so much. Anybody else from the audience or the attendees who would like to speak, please? Okay, so next we come to our founder, Sir Rajarao ji.
I'm ready. Ready.
So would you like to say a few words and then your vote of thanks and special words for our speakers for this evening?
Thank you. I'm going to say big thanks to all our guests today because seriously, they played more than what we have expected. Just I want to say a few words about our speakers at this moment. Dr. Shauli ma'am, can I see her? Dr. Shauli ma'am? Okay. She has brought dynamism to our program. As she is the opener of this program, she has brought a lot of vibes, dynamism to this program. It's a great start. And the second one, Kajal ma'am, as your name says, you added a lot of beauty to this program. The moment you entered, the scenario has completely changed. Really, people need this type of courage at this pandemic time so that we can easily overcome whatever the hurdles that are there. Our mind is very important. You have played that role, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. Yes, your students are so fortunate. So I can say that because wherever your presence, that radiates that happiness. Great, ma'am.
I just want to add one line over here. Please
Sure,
allow me.
Sure.
C stands for company. And I just loved the company of World Peace Commission. And hail World Peace Commission. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I want to thank Richa ma'am. Really, it's simple words, but the words are from our tradition, the words are from our culture, the words are from the earth that we live here. So our elders says, because it's all gained through the experience, the what we call wisdom of ages. Richa ma'am, a big salute to you to bringing such wisdom to this program, because we need not throw the stones on others. Prime Minister is not doing that, government is not doing that, chief minister is. So at this moment, we need not blame anyone because we are in the middle of the crisis. At this point of time, we have to know how to save ourselves. That's very important. We have to protect ourselves. So then we can do anything. So Richa ma'am, once again, a big salute to you for adding a great value to this program. Next, Supriya ma'am, you are from Jammu Kashmir. You are an advocate. Just you have radiated. In we say Telangana Vakil Saab. That's a Pawan Kalyan name because he was a famous advocate in the movie Vakil Saab. So just you have given a lot of energy to this program at the end. So we thank first Shauli ma'am to giving a lot of dynamism to this program. Kajal ma'am adding entertainment plus message to this program. Then Richa ma'am bringing a wisdom of ages to this program. And last but not least, Supriya ma'am.
What fraction? Mummy.
So
Mummy.
Anyway, then final last but not the least, Deepa ma'am. The moment she entered, she changes everything because she smiles. That smile brings a lot of energy to our speakers. So that's why I like her presence very much. So without asking her permission, I mention her name as a moderator because she makes every speaker comfortable in this one. So I thank each and everyone. And last but not the least, I want to thank our Carolyn ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for your joining and beautiful words. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raja Rao. It had been a wonderful experience interacting and connecting with each one of you. Thanks to Deepa as well and to all the wonderful speakers and all the attendees and viewers. Thank you so much. Hope to be in